You may not think it's a problem, but it is a problem. And when you have kids, it's a real problem. Towels. And why are towels a problem? Because they look the same. And when you're sharing a bathroom, whether it's on vacation, at a relative's house, in your own house, and even towels that don't look the same are problems with kids because they use each other's towels and it's like, horrible. Well, I got a good solution, and I can't believe it's taken so long to figure this out. Towel tags. And we can go from very simple to more exotic. Interested? Here we go. I was on vacation at the relative's house. My wife was washing them every single day, which isn't good for the environment because we couldn't tell whose towels was whose. So I came up with this idea of why don't we just take some towel tags, make them. The design criteria for this build is fairly straightforward. You have to have something that you can put on and remove rather quickly from a towel. And you want to have something that identifies the towel and that maybe the person that's using the towel can design themselves. And whatever you come up with has to be washable and cheap enough that if you just happen to leave it behind, you don't feel really bad about it. So that's what this design is all about. I found after a little bit of trial and error that the 2-inch safety pin was the best. You probably could go smaller, but I wanted it to be easy to put on and take off. This is about as simple as you get. You only need a safety pin and some beads. In our family, with so many chargers that look the same, every person in our family has come up with their own personal color, and that's what they use as an identifier. We tape it on their chargers. We put it on anything that's remotely similar. And that's why I'm surprised it took me so long to figure this out. The things you'll need for this build are 2-inch or size 3 safety pins. And depending on how exotic you want to get, here is just some rainbow pony beads. $2. This is $2. Now, you can get a little more exotic and put names on there with these beads. This was about $3. And if you're going to put it on these beads, you probably need these, which is assorted findings. I don't know why they're called findings, but they're basically just the metal loops that you use on keychains, key rings, things like that. All right, all of these well under $10. If you go with this solution, you're talking about enough to make 50 of these easily for about $4 or $5. And relatively safe. If you're really worried about the sharpness on this pin, all you have to do is take a pair of cutters, go to the very edge, clip off the sharp piece. See, that's a lot safer. And it will still work well on the towel. It goes through just about as easy as with the sharp tip, and it's a lot safer. Ready to go. On my initial design, I thought about, why can't you just roll those over and put them on this side? Wouldn't that be handy? Because then you'd have this whole area here on this side to put on the towel. But as you can see, even with these relatively big holes on these beads, they just don't go around. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll be a little crafty and I'll just kind of deconstruct it to put it on. And that works. But then trying to get it back into this state is a little iffy. So I just said, the simpler the design, the easier it is to make, the more adaptable it is. So that gives you plenty of room, as you saw, with just those 2 beads. If you want to get a little fancier, you can have the clip option. You can get this at any craft store, any big box store. You've got one of these, you've got a smaller one of those, you got kind of a standard bigger keychain thing going on, and you've got these really small ones. all of them will work for this design. It just depends on how fancy you want to get. If you just happen to have these key rings around, just take it off and you can use this and it works great. Option 2 is take one of these smaller clips, clip it on there like that. Pick the bead of your choice. I'll use purple because that's my bride's favorite color, and just pop it on and you're done. I would make a couple of every color, one for a hand towel, one for a regular towel. Sometimes people use 2 towels if they have long hair. So maybe 4 or 5. Take it on a trip, put them in a bag, and you're ready to go. Say for some reason you've got more people than you have colors, then you can just alternate the colors. Maybe have 2 beads instead of 1. You could go patriotic. All sorts of flags have red, white, and blue in them. That works. And you're just using this different clip here. I found these clips kind of hard to use because once you bend it enough to put it on, you have to bend it back. Once all the bending is done, it works fine. But this is real easy, and that's not going to come off. The next step is maybe you want to color code it and put some initials on there. So that's what this is. And you can use the smaller ring for things like that. For this one, I'll show you how I actually made one with the initials. You just take a ring, open it up, and I'm looking for an E and a T. It's got to be an E and a T here somewhere. Here's an E, T. The rest of your initials over there. Doesn't matter which split you use. Just slide on the first bead, and that's easy. Slide on the second bead, and then just run them around like so. There. And then take your safety pin, slide that around, and you're done. And again, you can make tons and tons and tons of these things. For the name, you use the same process. I just used a bigger ring. If you got longer names, you're going to want to use a big ring like this. And it's still going to go on the towel great. No problem. You could actually make this before a trip or during a trip. You know, taking a break on the holidays, whatever. Actually, it's better if the name comes out this way. Get everybody excited about going. And everybody has their name on there. And it kind of personalizes it. And they'll use their own towel. You might find that this is a little constraining because there's only so many of every letter, and if you have somebody that has like a bunch of Y's or J's or whatever, it's kind of arbitrary. When they put in 200 of these things, I haven't counted them out, but there's only so many E's. You got little hearts you could use. That would be kind of cute for some folks. We've also found that this same design, although originally for towels, works great on jackets. Now you might be concerned about kids or teenagers that the pin might hurt them or might pop off. So if that's the case, just take the pin off and then put the key ring on one of the parts of the jacket that you'll see all the time on the zipper. You can actually use it as a pull. If you don't want to put it in such an obvious place, you could just take your coded pin identifier and just slide it into a pocket. Clip it like that. And it's less obvious. And that way when your teenager is trying to find their coat from all the coats that look the same, just open it up and there you go. They know it's theirs. Thumbs up and comments always appreciated. Thanks for watching. This is a simple and fun solution to a problem that we all eventually have at one time or another. I'd be interested to see in the comments Send me your pictures and what your ideas and what your creative thoughts come up with on this build. It's limitless. Stay tuned for more videos on solving little problems, cosplay, all sorts of stuff coming soon.